Well, we want to expand that conversation, and we now have with us Marilyn Kimeu, the country manager for Generation Kenya. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me, Abby.
And just to start it off, what does Generation Kenya do?
Okay. So Generation Kenya is part of a global movement that addresses the skills gap within the market. The point of Generation Kenya is to bridge that gap in terms of training disconnected youth and placing them in jobs with employers who are missing the talent that they require within the market. So Generation Kenya has been in Kenya since 2015. We're part of 5 other countries globally. And so far, we've been able to train about 7,900 youth, about 90% of whom are in jobs. We actually had our graduation last week for about 3,900 youth. So the point of the program is to train youth and place them in jobs and ensuring that we deliver value for both the employer and the students.
All right. And Marilyn, looking at Kenya's economy right now, we're talking of an unemployment rate of 40%. In real terms, this means out of 100 people, 40 are unemployed. And is the program sufficient enough in terms of helping young people to transition from being jobless to getting a job?
Okay, so I think, as Honorable Saka just said, training youth and placing them in jobs is a service, and it's a service that everyone should be involved in. Something that Generation does is equip people with skills that they didn't have before, and also placing youth in jobs with employers who are not getting the skills they require. Is it enough for the whole of Kenya? We'd have to have a collaborative effort with several other programs, which we already do. But is it achieving the goals that it set out to achieve? Yes, it is. Because 2 of the things we look at is how we're delivering value, and we test this by collecting data. We ask students, how has your life changed? Have you been able to earn gainful employment? Have you been able to change your mindset? Are you now motivated? And we see 100% of our students reporting back that, yes, their lives have changed for the positive, and they've been able to have gainful employment. All right. On the side of the employer, are you getting productivity from the students that we're giving you? Are the students more disciplined? Are they more, do they develop faster in the workplace? And they all report back that, yes, they're getting this productivity that they require. Right. So out of the 180 employer partners we have, 100% of them re-employ from us. And
Marilyn, the organization has actually been doing a commendable job. But really, talk to us about the deeper statistics around which sectors have the highest deficiency when it comes to the skills mismatch.
Okay. So Generation is a very employer-led program, and we never start training for jobs that are not required within the industry. We don't want to be part of the problem. We don't want to train youth and then have them in the market but unplaced. So what we do before we start any program is a in-depth market analysis to understand for this industry, do they actually have a skill shortage? And our skill shortage is very much geared towards entry-level jobs. And I think just linking back with what is going on in the Kenyan economy and the government's priorities towards the Big 4. Manufacturing is a sector that is supposed to contribute significantly to the GDP within Kenya.
Correct.
And if you look at the industries that are within this manufacturing, if I just pick one, sewing machine operators, which is a program that we do, they would require about 10,000 operators to be able to pick up in the production to GDP.
These are people sewing for the military uniforms or something like that?
Exactly. So we have several sewing machine manufacturing industries in Kenya, and they do stitching for a variety of things, fashionable clothes to uniforms and so on and so forth. And just for that one industry, we would need 10,000 people.
But the young people look down on such jobs. Why is the case?
So I think the point of Generation is also to change the mindsets of individuals. I like thinking of Generation as a fast opportunity, particularly because we're targeting disadvantaged youth. These are people who do not have an opportunity either from high school or from primary school to do anything else, not to advance their education, not to get a source of capital, and so on and so forth. And I think there's been a negative mindset in Kenya in terms of the kind of jobs that youth are going for. I think every job should be thought of as a fast opportunity. It doesn't mean that you are to remain there for the rest of your life. It is something that gives you that fast opportunity to build up for the rest of your life. And it's important to teach youth these mindsets. Some of the mindsets we look at are growth mindset, a future orientation, am I a persistent person, so that you understand what is the actual meaning of a job. What does it mean for me as a person?
Taking you back to my earlier question on sectors that we don't have enough people, that this can be opportunities for young people to consider.
Exactly. So we train on 5 programs currently, and we train on these 5 programs because we think there's a gap within the market, both with the number of talented youth that are required and the skills gap as well. We train in sewing machine operators, as I had mentioned, financial sales and services, which are banking and insurance industries, retail and restaurant, which is your normal restaurants and customer-facing jobs, client service agents for the call centers, and lastly, distributor sales. And these are people who sell normally fast-moving consumer goods.
All right.
We're focused in those 5 industries because we think there's a large shortage within them. But linking back to what I said before on the big 4 priorities, if these sectors are to expand, that's yet another gap that we would have to address as a country.
All right. I just want to get your closing remarks, Marilyn, in terms of eventually what's the end game towards this program in terms of lobbying for additional government support, lobbying for multinational support through funding. What's that one thing that you need to give you that push to be able to see more young people being trained and getting off from the streets, getting off drugs, and being able to earn a gainful employment?
Yeah. So I think the one aim of Generation Kenya, other than placing youth, which is of course our primary aim, is sustainability. We don't want to be the kind of program that is always reliant on donor funding, and we want to be able to be a standalone program, at least for the programs that are ongoing. We've been able to get employer and student buy-in, and they're contributing into the program, but just to answer your question quite simply, is more stakeholders buying in and contributing resources that we require, both from government, donors, and private sector.
All right. We definitely wish you the very best in your endeavors.
Thank you very much.
And as the media, will continue to highlight the plight of the young people.
We appreciate that.
Well, that brings us to a close on the show this afternoon. It's been great bringing you the latest from the world of business on your most authoritative business show in East Africa. My name is Abi Agena. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Thanks, Marilyn.